our friend Ben Grawl at Funtic8, PHUNTIC number 8, sent me this. This is from CNN. Though emblematic of our time, energy drinks aren't just an invention of the new millennium. People have relied on them to combat fatigue for at least a century.
Combat fatigue, that's you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Today, their energy typically derives from some sort of neurological stimulant that makes people feel more energetic, or sometimes just sugar. But there was a time when energy drinks actually contained real energy.
Well, like batteries?
They lit a match and dropped it in there.
No. The active ingredient in these drinks was radium, a radioactive element.
Jesus.
That's what this sort of tastes like. Yeah, radium. I thought it was, radium.
You can taste it. Yeah,
you can taste it.
While the connection between consuming a radioactive element and reaping a perceived energy boost is tenuous at best, it did not stop people in the early 1900s from ignoring the known downsides of ingesting radioactivity and risking the long-term health consequences.
Wow. Those are the good old days.
Oh, yeah.
Just living.
So,
While dying. Just dying.
So one of these energy containing products was Radithor or Radithor.
This is just Fallout 3.
Yeah. So this energy drink was simply radium dissolved in water. So
Look,
they're
just like, let's cut it with water.
And
It tastes a little harsh.
A little water helps the radium go down.
And I wanted to talk about this in terms of the 5-hour energy because it was sold in the 1920s as a 1-ounce shot. And it sold for $1 each, which is about $15 in today's money. So consequently, Radithor ailments were confined largely to the few who could afford to pay for it. So it was an invention that basically just killed rich people.
Fucking A. Radium, baby. We're about to fucking take the Capitol with radium. Not the Capitol, whatever. Excuse me.
The hills. We're going to take Beverly Hills.
We're going to do something righteous, something good. All right, something good with the radium.
The inventor was a noted con man named William Bailey who called himself doctor and said he was a graduate of Harvard and the University of Vienna. None of this was true, but he had done several stints in jail for fraud. He sold many flim-flam cures, mostly for impotence over the years, but nothing had ever been as successful as Radithor.
A failed boner pill salesman.
And he founded the Bailey Radium Laboratories right here in Los Angeles on Spring Street
Let's go tonight.
in 1925. Here's the fucking crazy part. That building is still there, and radium...
We're living in it.
It's here.
It's full of radium.
Radium has a half-life of several thousand years. Woo! So in all likelihood, it's a trendy loft now, but it's that same fucking building. So I'm like,
whoa, those people are going to die.
Yeah, possibly.
They're not gonna have any energy.
It's
all over.
Well, it's like that Tim McGraw song. You got to live like you were dying. And those people sure are with their radium poisoning, but they're going after their dreams, gall darn it.
So Radithor's slogan was, "It puts the sunshine in your bloodstream," which is literally true. It puts radiation directly into your bloodstream.
All these terms, energy, sunshine,
it's the same goddamn
cancer
thing.
agent. Yeah.
There's all this bullshit on the side of every one of these cans. It's the same goddamn thing, except now they're like, there's probably won't have horrifying long-term side effects.
Now with more heft, more angle to your dangle. It's like, what are the actual fucking scientific terms is in this shit?
So rich people would drink this and then they'd probably have kids and shit.
Well, I'm getting to the reason.
And then those kids form acting careers.
Well, so there's a reason this got shut down. So the drink not only provided energy, but also supposedly cured a host of ailments, including, and this is the actual list, ingrown toenails, alopecia, low blood pressure, high blood pressure, asthma, diabetes, heart disease, insomnia, hysteria, and of course, impotence. So it's also a dick pill. And so evidence for a sexual benefit to humans was lacking, but at least one scientific paper claimed that the radium water would increase the sexual passion of water newts. So for many men, that was enough. That was all they needed to hear. Like, oh, it's the salamanders are horny. I'm in.
I like
pump it in my veins, baby.
I love it.
The guy going up to the thing and being like, look at it. Still, it's flaccid. Look at that. That's not even happy. Like flicking the tip of his dick.
Honey, can I get some Chernobyl for my dick? So Radithor or Radithor sold 400,000 doses during its time. And
suckers.
Total suckers.
Dead suckers. Smelling like radium.
And if you had any doubts about the benefits, they would send you a free booklet that was titled "No One Has Ever Died of Old Age." and it was a 64-page booklet that was supposedly authored by doctors who were like, no, it's fine to drink radiation.
Wow.
So
rules.
that's
Can we get
just
a copy of that book.
I'll be looking for it on eBay.
I'm sure this is from the era of medical science where it's like cigarettes calm your nerves.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's good. Those
yeah,
are good.
very
days.
much so.
I can't smoke cigarettes because I know they kill me. But if I didn't know, boy, oh boy, I'd still be
if
fucking
5
smoking
doctors were
down.
telling me, you know.
Yeah. Beautiful time. To
Let me
live.
ask you something,
Beautiful
son.
time
Do you
be
want to
alive.
look cool?
So Radithor's most famous customer was Eben Byers, who was a Pittsburgh steel industrialist, horse racing enthusiast, and a national amateur golf champion. So
All that energy.
classic. Well, he didn't get the energy yet. He got the energy because Byers first became acquainted with Radithor in 1927. That year, he was on a train on his way home from New York from that year's Harvard-Yale football game. Supposedly, he was drunk and banging some lady, and he fell out the top bunk of his private Pullman car and broke his arm
In a train?
in a train.
In a train bunk bed.
He fell out of the bunk bed, fucked his arm up, and went to a doctor, and the doctor was like, well, you know what you need?
Radium.
Radium. And so he
You're already pretty bionic.
yeah,
He's
exactly.
like, I'm going to keep falling on these train cars, so I'm going to need something. It's a common thing of my life. I fuck women and I fall down.
He was having such vigorous sex in this bunk bed in a train that his toupee was falling off.
He
His
fucked
fake mustache flew away.
he fucked himself radioactive, ladies and gents. But yeah,
Whoa.
so
What
he
position do you think that was?
Froggy.
Train car.
He's
That's a
full
train
of-
car, baby. Everyone knows about the train car.
Yeah, he's standing up and he's doing the squat thing.
They named it
That the
after him.
real hot shots do.
They went around a curve and everything went awry.
yeah.
They went through a tunnel. Yeah. It's dark in here, and then he fucking flipped over.
So a doctor prescribed Radithor to treat both his arm and a, quote, generally run-down disposition, or to put it another way, sometimes you're thirsty and tired. So
To put it into just a regular old sentence,
yeah.
and not a slogan at all. Sometimes you're tired, right?
And thirsty.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
thirsty,
saying?
so
you just
you-
got to have it. You're
that's all you
real
need to know.
thirsty. You a thirsty bitch.
And you got $1 or so to burn.
Yeah. So Byers continued to consume large amounts of Radithor even after his arm had healed. He drank 1 to 2 bottles every single day for 3 years. He gave it to all his business associates and girlfriends as gifts, and he also fed it to his racehorses.
Oh my God.
And I was just thinking, like, oh, George, not the livestock. Like, don't do that. Don't drag them into
He
this.
didn't invest in this product at all. He just kept buying it up and giving it to
Yep.
people. That were like,
Yep.
hey, you know you could be a part of this radium.
So, unfortunately, when ingested, radium goes straight for your skeleton and gets incorporated to the bone tissue, causing your bones to start rotting away. Just 5 micro.
We all saw what happened to Spider-Man.
No, I think this is Morbius. I'm reading. I'll never see the movie, but I'm assuming this is the plot of Morbius.
Yeah.
Just 5 micrograms of radium deposited in the bones is enough to kill you. Byers had ingested no less than 1,500 bottles of Radithor by the time he swore off drinking radiation in 1930. His teeth fell out, his lower jaw fell out, and then his skull developed holes. And he died in a horrifying and gruesome death on March 31st, 1932.
in a puddle.
Yeah,
A puddle with fingers.
his face.
He's like, no more radio.
He was Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yes, yeah, like Christopher Lloyd disappearing into the ink eraser. So, news of Byers' death alarmed some members of the upper class. Although New York City Mayor James J. Walker, an avowed drinker of radium himself,
Walker?
yeah, J.J. Walker,
He's like, I know Mike.
yeah, he loved it. An avowed drinker
And
of
he was
radium.
Like, wait, that's got a ring to it. And then he was a millionaire for a week or two, a month, a couple years.
And JJ Dynamite Walker also said, Mayor Walker, please, Mayor Dynamite said that that the radium also helped his rundown disposition. This is in 2 different newspapers where I'm like, what
Carter, you were in a post-punk band called Rundown Disposition.
disposition?
Yeah,
No, they're
somewhere along
steampunk.
the way.
Steampunk.
Yeah, we were a steampunk band. We had jetpacks.
We have goggles,
We had jetpacks and guitars. It was crazy.
That's right.
we set someone's basement on fire and we had to break up.
Paul W. Dunbar, the assistant chief of the Food and Drug Administration at the time, said there was no evidence that Bailey's claims about Radithor and its miracle cures had violated the food and drug laws because the only claim made on the bottle is that the solution was indeed radioactive. So So that's all the bottle said. All the ads are like, it cures your dick and all this other stuff.
Sure.
But the only thing on the bottle, and at the time they didn't have the legislation to be able to go after someone for what they said in their advertisements.
Wow.
So it's like, well, the bottle says it's just a water and radiation.
The people who bought it were just like, look, I'm a big picture kind of guy. You know what I mean? I don't deal with the little. Is it going to fix my dick or what? I fuck on trains, my man.
I fall down and I gotta, what's the disposition?
And now my skull is melting.
Yeah. But it will fix my
Lord.
dick.
He made $6 million in today's money. I
Uh-huh.
just did the math. That's pretty crazy.
This was the time to be alive, folks. That was the apex of American culture.
Oh yeah.
Everyone's so ignorant and just murdering
That's
and
the thing.
stealing and just loving life.
America, from the fucking Constitution till where we sit in 22, has always been a scam, and this was the time when you could get away with the most scams at once.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Las Vegas, the country.
So this is my favorite detail. Byers was laid to rest in a lead-lined coffin to block the radiation being actively released from his dead body.
Shoot him into outer space. Yeah.
In 1965, an MIT scientist, Rob Lee Evans, exhumed the skeleton to measure the amount of radium in his bones. Radium has a half-life of 1,600 years, so Byers' bones would have been virtually the same amount of radium as they were on the day he died. He determined that Byers was underselling the amount of radium that he told people he was consuming. It was probably twice as much. So he said that he drank 1,500 bottles. It's probably like 3,000 bottles based on how much radium was in his skeleton.
Did he eat?
Huh?
Did he ever eat?
I think he took it with dinner, they said.
It had
with every meal. So he was doing it 3-4 times a day.
It had to have been addictive in some way.
Well, that's what they say. I think it probably just was psychologically addictive. Like, this is helping my arm I messed up by banging.
Yeah.
Talk about some being addicted to snake oil, but snake oil that makes you radioactive and melts you.
In the end, Byers' death caused the collapse of the radioactive patent medicine industry. Bailey got shut down by the FTC, Federal Trade Commission, but all along, the inventor, so Bailey, the Flim Flam man, insisted that his potion was safe. After all, he said he had probably drunk more Radithor than anyone else, and he felt fine. So nearly 20 years after his death, they dug him up too, and he had been ravaged by radiation. And his bones were still, quote unquote, hot when they pulled him out of the ground. So
nice.
I think they mean in a radioactive sense, but it is funny to think of just like you just open it, it's like just like you're
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
right.
Yeah,
like you're opening up a basket full of dumplings at a restaurant. Like, God damn, son, the bones is burning. But yeah, so that was the old time.
So that's just what we drank. That we just consumed
That's
something
the
like
shit.
that.
So now you just get hit by a car or whatever.
Right? Yeah.
Back then we're like, we're melted it. I've developed holes in my brain.
Yeah. Well, no, I just think, at some, 100 years from now, if, the podcast that'll be broadcasting from a raft in what used to be Miami or whatever, they'll be making fun of us for, taste better, works better. Sometimes you're thirsty and tired.
That's right.
And
Well,
that's
don't
why
tell me shit,
Yeah.
future people. You don't know fucking.
That's why you all have hands growing. That's why you have hands growing out of your spine.
You don't know shit about this life.
I like how 5 Hour Energy just is a caffeine pill that got rebranded into something else.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
it's
the
exactly the same.
it's the silhouette of the guy jogging. I think. that's what really helps their case.
That really is it. I swear to God, because it does give you this thing of like, oh, I'm exercising somehow.
Right? Yeah, they
drinking
made it
this.
seem healthy. And like I think giving like a time parameter for how fucking jacked
That's
you're gonna
hilarious. That's hilarious.
be. Yeah, it's like it's just for 5 hours.
Yeah.
How many hours do you need? 5?
Do you 5?
Oh, we have that many.
Well, don't take it at midnight. 'Cause it'll be up till 5 in the morning.
It's
but
very like as seen on TV is what
Yeah,
like the font choice is
Yes.
like. Is
Yes.
this a real product? We're not sure. It's 2 a.m. and you're in Minnesota. You should probably drink it.
Well, yeah. Shout out to Ben for sending me that original article, and then I kind of went into newspapers.com and started digging around. I was like, oh, that's funny because the CNN thing
Amazing.
didn't mention that he broke his arm while fucking. It just said it broke his arm. I was like, why would you leave out that detail?
Liberal media.
The damn
Thank
liberal
you,
media.
finally.
Yeah.
I'm from the South, baby.
Yeah.
You don't know what the fuck I believe? Ask Waylon Jennings. He's wearing a Waylon
Yeah.
Jennings t-shirt. I actually don't listen to country music at all.
Yeah,
I actually
yeah.
have no idea
This
much
is
about
this is the liberal media doing fuckboy erasure, and I don't like
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Radiate your ass, motherfucker.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Try it.
One time I broke my back fucking.
Is that true?
broke your back.
I broke my dick fucking, dude.
One
Last night.
time I broke the internet. Fucking. And my dick because I sat on my dick. I didn't really hurt it.
And everyone made fun of me for like 3 days.
Yeah,
It was
everyone
terrible.
made fun of me for 3 days.
I broke the internet, but not in the way you want to.
Yeah, I was fucking my 2 pillows on top of each other. And I broke the internet.
I broke the internet. I fucked the router.
Yeah, I broke my dad. One time I
put my dick in the router.
I was fucking 2 pillows. I broke the internet and my dad's heart at the same time.
It sounds like a lie a middle schooler would tell. They just
Absolutely.
come to school with an arm, like cast on their arm. What happened?
Yes,
Oh, I was fucking this girl. You don't know her, but I fell off the bed.
when I was in like I think 6th grade, this guy told me, and he was like, "Yeah, man, I'm worn out because I was fucking this girl on the trampoline last night. It was crazy. Like I was just bouncing up and like down into her, or whatever.
I
it
love
was
that.
like the craziest sex, and I'm like, we're in 6th grade,
And then we did wrestling. And then we did
people do
weird
that.
sex
I'm like dumb enough to like, do people do that? I guess we're fucking.
And then afterwards,
that
it
guy's
was
cool.
it was really dope after because I gave her a jackknife power bomb.
Exactly.
We did all the cool wrestling
Yeah, yeah.
moves, Razor's
Yeah.
Edge, all
Yeah.
that shit.
I did a backflip onto a sofa, and then I had a full pizza. And then
yeah. And those springs that hold it together, it's very dangerous. You don't want to take anywhere near
Very
that shit.
dangerous.
I got my ankle in there once. Hurt.
Oh, kids were flying off the trampoline when I was younger.
Oh,
We had
man.
no net around the outside.
Ruined
Yeah.
a bunch of birthday parties.
This guy was like fucking suicide bomber. He was like bam, 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 bam. I know what I'm doing on this trampoline. And I'm 11 years old.
Tyler's really good at sex. I've heard Tyler's like super good at sex. Like,
He hasn't
can jump and
broken.
do
He
it.
hasn't broken one bone yet.
That's how you measure it. How many bones you broke? Not
No one makes these claims in their 30s.